for content creators, videographers, everything, man. Let's grow something special right here, homegrown, Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's go. Let's get it down, man. It's your boy Uncle P reminding you, man. CMPRadio.net, cultivating mature positivity.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mental Health Talk with yours truly. I am Christina McIntyre. First, give a shout out to my sponsor, Flawless Tires. You can find them at 1195 Chester Pike. Phone number is 610-848-0744. Make sure you go check them out so you can get your car right back on the road. I also wanted to give a thanks to everyone that came out yesterday and supported me on my first event. It went very well. Shout out to Crystal, Drinks Like a Lady, Maya with M&D Soul Food, to my performers, Christy, Ricky, Mike, also Doughboy for the DJ and all the guests that attended. Thank you for making part of my dream become a reality. I am looking forward to serving more in the community and helping out with the homeless. So if you have anything going on and that you need help with, especially with the homeless, just reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Facebook, Christina McIntyre. It definitely was a nice event, a fun event. Everyone enjoyed themselves, and I look forward to participating in more and helping bring back the unity in our community. So this week's topic is mental health. What does it look like? A lot of people look at mental health like it's supposed to, it's supposed to have a specific look, but it doesn't. You can't look at someone and tell that they suffer from mental health illness, right? It comes in all shapes and forms. Children have mental health issues as well, and so it's a lot of that stigma going around that you have to look this way or you look happy. There's nothing really wrong with you, but that is a very bad misconception because a lot of people that look well-to-do suffer from mental health issues. Mental health in general is how we think, regulate our feelings, and behave. And so when there is an imbalance in that, that's where mental health illness comes into play. So overall, you have to differentiate between what is normal and what considered mental health issues. A lot of times, we think we may have mental health issues, and it just may be something simple. Like if you are a shy person, that is fine. That is a characteristic that you have. But when that shyness starts to interfere with your day-to-day activity, that's when it can become a social phobia. If you find yourself, you avoid certain environments, you don't like to go out in public, you keep yourself isolated at home, that's a point where you may need to go to the doctor to see if you need help or see if you do suffer from some type of mental health illness. The mental health illness is defined as, again, a break in your day-to-day activity. When they first diagnose you, they're going to ask you quite a lot of questions to see where do you fit in at. Questions about, your childhood, your family history of mental health illness. A lot of times, people that are suffering from mental health illness have a family history. I know for me, by speaking with a cousin on my mom's side, found out that a lot of them on that side suffer from mental health issues. So um, it made it easier for me to kind of define myself or to have some type of relation, not being put out here in the world, not knowing where you kind of fit in at, and having something to go back on. So now I could figure out a better plan to deal with my life and go about healing. So there are different misconceptions about mental health, and I'm going to explain them briefly. Again, a lot of people think that mental health has this look, right? I guess they expect people to look all crazy with your hair sticking out and stuff, but that's just not what it is. Most of the time, people with mental health issues look like regular day-to-day people. So the first misconception about mental health, someone that suffers from mental health illness, is we are dangerous and violent, right? Especially with people with bipolar and schizophrenic, or you have multiple personality disorder. A lot of times people will look at those people and put them into a category that they're more likely to react. They get angry, so their anger will turn into frustration, and then they wind up either destroying property or get into fights and stuff, or even committing murder. But that's just not the case. Um, Actually, people with mental health illnesses are more likely to be a victim of that. And so, most likely because when you do suffer from mental health issues, it's a change in your brain chemistry, and you're more vulnerable to get taken advantage of. And so that's one misconception that I think we need to get thrown out the window, um, so that people can approach people with mental health illness better, so they don't stick them into a category. The second misconception is that many homeless people are mentally ill. That's just not the case. A lot of times people are homeless for a lot of different reasons. I touched a little bit about this on my show yesterday. A lot of people become homeless for different reasons. It's finances, it's they're getting out of abusive relationship, um, and they just fell on hard times, and so they become homeless because of just, life happens, and then um, they don't really suffer from mental health illnesses, but it can be a factor in being homeless. Some people that are homeless do suffer from mental health illnesses, but we don't want to put them in a category like all people that are homeless do suffer from that. Um, the third misconception is that white people suffer more from mental health illness. Um, a lot of times this goes around, I guess people see white people as more people that are crazy or more likely to commit certain things. But the reason for that is that in the black communities, services aren't as readily available as in a white community. A lot of times, black people get misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed, so the numbers aren't really factual. So when you look at it, a lot more African Americans suffer from mental health illnesses. It's just that, we are taught maybe we shouldn't go to the doctor, we can't trust doctors, and so we get left with dealing with our issues by ourselves. But then that turns into more problems in the long run. And so that misconception that white people suffer more is just a conception, and that is not factual. The fourth assumption about people with mental health is that people who look happy do not suffer from mental health illnesses. It's hard when you are a person that suffer from mental health issues, right? If you have depression, anxiety, and fear, a lot of times you are fighting an internal battle within yourself. No, you can't see it, but you have to push yourself each day to combat those illnesses so that they don't take over your life. A lot of times people that look happy necessarily aren't happy, but they have to you got to kind of do things to trick your brain, right? Even those days when you feel the lowest, especially if you suffer from depression. Some days you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do anything, but you know you have to work in order to provide. You know you have to go out and socialize with people, especially if you're working. So you do put on this face sometimes. And then a lot of times people that suffer cry behind closed doors. They take on these issues themselves. And so, yes, they do look happy, but a lot of people that seem happy are not necessarily happy. A lot of people commit suicide. Um, Even though everyone else thought their life was perfect or anything, because mental health issues are an internal battle, right? It's in our mind. You can't see it. And so I think that's why people have so many misconceptions, is that it's an illness that you cannot see. If it was like a broken arm, broken leg, or maybe your face got messed up, you can see that, right? And so people be like, okay, there's something wrong. But when we suffer internally, we can't see. It's a fight that we struggle with day in and day out ourselves. And so having that misconception that every person that is externally happy may not be internally happy, right? They realize that their life is worth more, so they fight each day with themselves in order to um, combat these illnesses. And over time, and when you're consistent, and you got to kind of trick your brain into thinking that you're happy even when you're not happy, because over time that you're I believe in like cells. So when you feed information into your cells, right, you trick your brain into thinking this way. Over time your cells will react to that, and you'll come to a place where you do feel happy. Some days I feel happier than others, but on days that find myself getting stuck in that sadness place, I play music, I recite mantras to myself to uplift myself, because a mental health illness is not really going to go anywhere. They have things that they can do to help you live a somewhat normal life, but you still struggle day to day. So you have to find things that bring you happiness, right? You have to kind of make yourself happy. Another misconception about people with mental health is that they don't have enough willpower to change. So when you're a person that suffers from mental health issues, it's hard, and it's a struggle, a day-to-day struggle. You want to change. No one wants to live in chaos each and every day, right? It's an internal struggle, and it's hard to explain to people, especially those that don't suffer from mental health issues. They want to change. They just maybe don't have the tools to go about getting change. Maybe they are afraid to go to a doctor and get help. Maybe they feel alone, like especially when you suffer from depression and anxiety and fear. If you're fear of people, you're not gonna be able to reach out to a doctor, right? I used to be afraid to even talk on the phone with people in general about normal day-to-day stuff, and so it prolonged some of my helping. And so a lot of people do want that change. They want someone to help them. They just don't know how to go about it. And so we shouldn't categorize people saying that they're depressed, especially with people with depression. We may look at a situation, someone with depression may not clean up as often as they should. They may not take a shower as often as they should. They may miss out on work, or when they at work, they're sluggish, right? They're trying each and every day, and maybe even just to struggle just to get out of bed. And so we shouldn't judge them, right? It's taking it day by day. And when you suffer, that's what it is. You take it day by day. Again, some days are better than others. Depression is one of them things that eat at you, right? If it's a thought process, and a negative thought um, brings on more negative thinking, and then it affects your body, right? And so you get stuck in that frame of mind, and it takes over you sometime. Like, I've been in some deep down depressed states where it went on for a week, and I was stuck in that. And so I've learned some strategies to kind of pull myself out of that now. So when I find myself going back into that space, I kind of channel that energy, and I really have to talk to myself. And a lot of people, maybe they're not there yet, and so they shouldn't be judged on for them trying. They're trying each and every day to become a better person. They just, that when you're stuck in that frame of mind, it's kind of hard to get out of. Another misconception of people are that the mental health illness and physical illnesses are different, right? So they do seem different because your mental is internal, right? And the physical you actually can see. But they go hand in hand because what we think is how we react, especially with me when I deal with holistic healing, that our physical illness is a reflection of what's going on internally. So when you suffer from, let's say, anxiety and panic attacks, right? Some physical symptoms of that is I get goosebumps, I get rashes, um, you start to get headaches, you start to sweat, you have heart palpitations. So they are some physical illnesses that is a manifestation of a mental health illness. And so they kind of go hand in hand. Our body reacts off of to how we think. And so if we constantly think that we're in a bad state, our body is going to react to that. We may get back pain, especially I deal with the chakra healings as well. So back pain for me is breakdown or an imbalance of your heart chakra. And so it's important that you find correlation between mental health and physical health. And once you get one in order, the other will follow. Also, we need to take care of our physical health as well. If you're suffering from any illness, you definitely should go see a doctor, but definitely take care of your mental health too. A lot of times we take care of our bodies, right, but we don't take care of our mind. And our bodies or our mind is just as important as our physical bodies. Another misconception is that people with mental health need medication. So I am for medication if you absolutely need it, right? If you are at that place and you're suffering, and I don't want anyone to get to the point where they wind up committing suicide, because suicide is like the last resort, especially people that suffer from a lot of different illnesses, and they feel like they have no other solution, so that is their only way out. They think ending their life will resolve the pain, but a lot of times it doesn't, especially if you speak with people that have attempted suicide and they actually lived after that. They will tell you that they are glad that they lived on the other side. They just wanted to end the pain. And sometimes death may seem like it's a good solution, but it's only taking away the problems. It's not really solving it. And so a lot of times medication can help depending on which medication you choose. That's why you should definitely go to your regular doctor to get a just physical checkup to make sure you don't have any underlying illnesses that's causing these mental health issues. A lot of physical illnesses do cause mental health issues, and then seek out therapy, right? You definitely need help. If you're suffering, you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer alone, but you need to do it for yourself. You have to be responsible for yourself. Like, people are willing to help you, right? They can be there as a comfort. They can listen. They can support you. But at the end of the day, you have to go out and get the help that you need and take it step by step. When I first started on this journey, I joined some groups on Facebook so I could connect with other people that were suffering as well. And then decided to take that journey to go to therapy myself. And I chose not to take medication because I found a holistic way of healing. And for me now, it works. Now, if I ever get to the point where it's no longer working, I will look for other solutions. And so medication doesn't necessarily have to be your only solution, right? You can use religion as a therapy, spirituality as a therapy, watching what you eat. Sometimes our body or our mental reacts to what we put in our body. So pay attention to everything that you're doing in your life that may be contributing to your mental health issues. And sometimes our environment, right? We may be hanging around certain people, or we may be in the wrong place. So sometimes changing your environment can help improve your mental health issues. Now, if you do need medication and you're at that point, make sure you find what works for you. Don't make sure you're in good communication with your doctor and your therapist, and find which one works best for you. Maybe you try something and it didn't work. It's okay to try something else, but definitely, if it is for you, definitely go get that. But you do not have to use that as a solution. Make sure you do talk to your therapist about all the solutions that you have that necessarily doesn't connect with medication. Um, and the last misconception about people that suffer from mental health is that we're different people, right? So they put people that suffer from mental health issues in this whole different category, right? Like regular, so-called regular people, normal people are in a higher category than us. No, we're not different. We function every day. We get up just like you. We go to work and we take care of our household, and then we function in everyday to-day society. We just have illness that is internal, right? That you cannot see, but we are no different from anyone else, and so we shouldn't be put in this whole separate category like we have some type of uh, infectious disease. People shouldn't be afraid of people that suffer from mental health issues. I think a lot more people suffer in silence. They don't want to seem like it's something wrong with them, so they don't come out and speak about it. But it's definitely becoming more and more aware. A lot more people are open to talking about it, and it's important that we do talk about it so that we can bring more awareness to it, so that a lot of people don't have to suffer in silence. And again, they said in that reality stars are actually talking more about it, so that people um, can feel, don't have to feel like they're alone. A lot of our celebrities have committed suicide, so it's definitely people seem happy, even when they're not, and they suffer, and then they wind up committing suicide. So that whole stigma that is placed on people that suffer definitely should be taken away, because as you can see, people and money can't bring you happiness. As you can see with the celebrities that committed suicide, they have a whole bunch of money and they still were suffering on the inside. So definitely it's important that if you suffer, that you go get the help that you need, but definitely don't feed into the stigmas that people place on you, because again, that's their opinion and that's not who you really are. And so there are 8 things that people that are thriving, right, that have mental health issues, but they're dealing with it day by day. Get yourself a positive circle, right? That's people that support you, that's not going to put you down, that's not going to judge you for having mental health issues. A lot of times, some people in your circle may call you crazy or weird or strange or nothing wrong with you, or you just suck it up, you'll get over it. If you have those type of people in your circle, maybe you need to find a different circle, or maybe you need to probably be by yourself for a little bit, because um, that negativity can feed off of you, especially if you're a person that's empathic. You can feed off of people's energy, right? You don't want people to bring you down. We're supposed to uplift one another. And you know that negative vibe attracts negative vibe. People that are dealing with stuff themselves, they will try to bring you down to their level. Again, find some people that are definitely supportive. It's a lot of good people out there, and you'll definitely run into them. Be proactive in your healing rather than reactive. The proactive means you are making a commitment to yourself each and every day that you're going to fight this fight, and you're better than this. And then your mental health issues doesn't define who you are, and you're going to get up every day and you're going to try harder every day. Maybe every day is not definitely the same, but you can still win it every day. You give whatever you can each and every day, 100% of what you can, and that looks different from day to day. And so don't be so hard on yourself, but definitely continue to fight for yourself. Take care of your body, right? I talked about this a little bit. So we are what we think, what we feel, and what we feed into our body. So you definitely need to take care of your body. It goes hand in hand, our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So we have to feed ourselves nutritious food. Don't get me wrong, I do go off the bad sometimes. Sometimes I eat things I shouldn't have, and it definitely does affect my mental health. And so when I get myself on track, when I'm eating the way that I'm supposed to, it makes me feel better because I'm taking care of my body. That gives me the confidence that I need to continue to fight. So definitely take care of your body. Go to the doctor if you need to. Make sure you make you matter. You're in control of your behavior. That's one good behavior to have when you're dealing with mental health. You know you're suffering, so you take control of your life. You don't put the blame on someone else. Like, things may have happened to people that causing their mental health issues, but at some point in time, you have to take accountability and responsibility for yourself. No longer, if things happened to you 20 years ago and you still suffering, it's up to you to go do something about it. And I know it sounds kind of bringing down, but I'm trying to uplift people, right? If you're suffering, you don't have to suffer in silence. Help is available, but you got to be willing to go out there and get the help. Like, even with all your fears, all your anxieties, all your panic attacks, you can do it. You have to reach out. That is the first step. I can tell you from personal experience about taking over fear. Once you do it, you'll feel so much better. So if you need help, go get that. You'll feel better, and then it'll open more doors. Once you start the healing process of your mental health issues, you'll be able to thrive in the life and live in the life that you want. And then the one more is that you have excellent self-realization skills. So when you come to the point that you know that you can deal with your mental health issues and you can thrive in everyday the society, and you are comfortable who you are and you're not ashamed, you'll find yourself in a better place. You don't have to be ashamed of who you are and what you have. It doesn't define who we are, right? It's just something that we have. It's just like if we had a broken arm or someone who was missing a leg. That doesn't define the person that they truly are on the inside. It's just something that we have, and we have to learn to deal with it. Don't allow other people's stigmas to stop you from living the life that you want. Don't allow your own self to stop you from living a life that you want. A lot of times with those thoughts in our heads, they become us, right? They prevent us from living the life we want. Maybe you want to go travel, go to the casino in another state, but you're afraid to drive, or you're afraid to get on a train. You're afraid to be around people. Start small. Nothing doesn't have to be extravagant in the beginning. You make daily goals for yourself and do it step by step. Over time, those little goals will become bigger goals, and then you accomplish something, and you accomplish more. But make sure you make an effort each and every day to put energy in yourself, time into yourself, commitment into yourself, because you owe it to yourself. You're definitely, everyone is put here for a reason and a purpose. Don't allow your mental health issues stop you from becoming the person that you need to be for yourself and for the world. We have gifts, and our gifts are meant to be given and shared with everyone else. And, if you keep yourself trapped in a box, and allow your mental health issues to take over, it's going to prevent you from living the life that you want. Again, don't allow the world to define you. You define who you are. You can create your reality in any moment you choose. If you're suffering right now, get up. It can start, right? The healing process starts when you decide that you want it to start. I wanted to give out the suicide hotline in case anyone is suffering alone. They feel like they're alone. You can always call this hotline 24/7. It's 1-800-273-8255. That is the suicide hotline. And if you want to look them up on the internet, it's suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Knowing that you don't have to suffer in silence. That is people that's really out there that really care about you. And you're important no matter what is happening or have happened to you. We are not a reflection of our past. We are a reflection of who we are now. Everyone has a past. Everyone has issues. Even those so-called normal people, they have issues as well. We just don't judge them as much as they judge people that are suffering. So don't let no one else's judgment affect you and your ability to live the life that you want. Definitely want to give a shout out to my sponsor again, Flawless Tires. Make sure you hit them up. 1195 Chester Pike. Phone number 610-848-0744. Also, you can visit my website, www.becomeyourc.com. I share, a little bit of everything on there, our physical, our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, different blogs and stuff that I write. I have a store on there as well. I sell chakra necklaces and bracelets to help you on your spiritual journey. I believe that everything that we go through it's something that we're struggling with internal, and I want to help people on that journey as well. And so if you're interested, definitely visit that website. Good information. Follow me on Instagram, Become Your C. I share a lot of my poetry on there as well. On Facebook, excerpts from a rare diamond powered by BYC. If you ever wanted to talk about some mental health issues or just in general, if you need someone to reach out to, you can always reach out to me, Christina McIntyre on Facebook. I want to thank you again. Remember that you don't have to live a life that someone else defined for you. You don't have to be under the umbrella that they put you under. You create the life that you want to live. Remember that you are worthy and worth it and valuable. You're an intricate part of the universe and you matter. Fall in love with yourself so the world can fall in love with you. Remember, each and every Sunday, tune in Mental Health Talk with yours truly at 12 p.m. And then don't forget to download the Live 365 app, search cmpradio.net, and listen Sundays 12 p.m., Wednesdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. Till next time.